Hello World of Legends viewers. Today, we are taking a deep dive into history to embark on a journey into the fascinating world of Viking warrior women. From the powerful female figures of Norse mythology to archaeological discoveries, this story will captivate both history and mythology enthusiasts. If you're ready, arm yourselves with your shields as we take a close look at the roles of brave Viking women on the battlefield, in their daily lives and in legends. In the harsh climate of Scandinavia, in a distant village, a young girl named Freydis grew up with stories of warrior women. Her mother would tell her tales of the Valkyries, praising their bravery and combat skills. Freydis dreamed of becoming like these legendary women her mother spoke of. At night, gathered around the fire, the villagers would recount the legends of Valkyries who carried fallen heroes from the battlefields to Valhalla. These stories left a deep impression on Freydis' heart and ignited her warrior spirit. One day, when their village was attacked by enemies, both women and men took up their swords to fight. Despite her young age, Freydis joined the battle alongside her mother. Feeling the spirit of the Valkyries envelop her on the battlefield, Freydis fought bravely against her enemies, becoming a warrior her mother could be proud of. Her courage became the talk of the village. Freydis' story turned into a legend passed down through generations, and she became a symbol of warrior women. Viking women were not only formidable on the battlefield but also possessed great strength and skills in their daily lives. During the day, they worked in the fields, tended to the animals, and crafted various items. However, at night, they gathered in the village square to learn the arts of war. Women were as proficient in wielding swords and defense techniques as men. One day, the village elder taught the young women combat techniques while also telling them about special powers bestowed by the gods. These powers taught women to live in harmony with nature and utilize its forces. According to legends, some Viking women possessed supernatural powers. These women, endowed with powers from the gods, would stand against their enemies and protect their villages. One winter night, an elderly woman in the village recounted Freydis' story to the young. Freydis had fought off enemies and protected her village with the powers she received from the gods. Her story illustrates the deep bond between women and nature and their belief in supernatural powers. Freydis' story showcases how women became warriors with supernatural abilities and how they wielded these powers. Archaeological findings reveal that Viking women were not just mythological figures but also real-life warriors. In 2017, excavations in Birka, Sweden, uncovered a Viking warrior's grave. For a long time, this grave was thought to belong to a male warrior. However, DNA analysis revealed that the grave belonged to a woman. The grave was filled with weapons, horse bones, and a game board. This discovery completely changed the notion that Viking women were not warriors, proving their significant roles on the battlefield. Similar findings were made in England. In a 10th century grave, a Viking woman was found buried with her weapons. This grave showed that women were not only involved in household chores but also played active roles in battles. Such archaeological discoveries have led to a rewriting of history books, helping us reevaluate the place of Viking women in history. The love lives of Viking women were also quite complex. Many women managed their loves and marriages with strategic decisions. Lagertha, known as a brave warrior and the beloved wife of Ragnar Lothbrok, had a love strengthened by victories on the battlefield but tested by jealousy and betrayal. Lagertha reinforced her love for Ragnar with the courage she showed on the battlefield. However, over time, this love was tested by betrayal, and Lagertha had to carve her own path. Lagertha's story illustrates how Viking women dealt with the challenges of love and war. Another love story was between Helga and Bjorn. Helga was one of the strongest female warriors in the village, and Bjorn would show his love for her at every opportunity. However, they had to protect their love even during times of war. Helga and Bjorn participated in many battles together and returned victorious each time. However, one day, Bjorn was severely wounded, and Helga prayed to the gods to save him. The gods heard Helga's prayers and healed Bjorn. This story shows how Viking women were strong and determined in a world where love and war intertwined. The lifestyles of Viking women demonstrate how multifaceted and strong they were. While working in the fields, they also trained as warriors. During the day, they did crafts, and at night, they learned the arts of war. One day, while working in the field, Helga received news of an attack. She took up her sword and set out to defend her village against her enemies. On the battlefield, Helga's courage and combat skills struck fear into her enemies. When she returned victorious from the battle, everyone in her village respected her, and her story was told for generations. Helga's story showcases how strong and determined Viking women were. The mysterious world of Viking women contains many legends about their supernatural powers. One winter night, the village elder told the young a story. The story was about a woman with supernatural powers who sought help from the gods to protect her village. This woman stood against her enemies with the powers she received from the gods and protected her village. Her story was not just a legend, but also a reflection of the deep connection Viking women had with nature. This story reinforced the belief in women's supernatural powers and solidified their place in society. Archaeological excavations and historical records show that Viking women were significant not only on the battlefield, but also in daily life. Excavations in Denmark have revealed findings indicating that Viking women were involved in farming, crafts, and trade. In major trading centers like Hedeby and Ribe, women played active roles in both economic and social life. These findings highlight how multifaceted Viking women were and their influence in all areas of societal life. Another significant finding demonstrates the role of Viking women in shipbuilding and seafaring. In the Oseberg ship burial in Norway, the remains of a Viking woman were found. This woman was buried with luxurious items and 2 ships, indicating her high status and expertise in seafaring. The Oseberg ship proves the advanced nature of Viking seafaring and the important roles women played in this field. The legends and real-life stories of Viking women emphasize their importance and strength in their societies. They were not only warriors but also leaders, farmers, artisans, and sailors. The stories of Viking women reveal their courage, determination, and versatility. These stories have not only remained in history books but also continue to inspire women today. Before we leave the mysterious and fascinating world of Viking women, it is important to remember that their stories provide us with valuable lessons on courage and strength. They stand out as figures of warrior spirit and determination throughout history, continuing to inspire both in their time and today. The stories of Viking women live on as symbols of courage and determination, remembered and told for generations. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about Viking warrior women, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Also, share your comments with us and let us know which topics you would like to see more videos on. See you in our next video. Goodbye.